Okay, and now it's not letting me update the stream. Okay, hold on. All right. Looks like I'm live now. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. Take care, Ben. All right. Maybe I got this fixed. It's good now. I was talking with my tech guy. So I don't know what happened. Actually, what I did was I quit one of the streaming programs and then came back again. It looks like this is going good. Christian, hey, Mike, good. Tutos, good. Timmy here. Good. Confirming it works. Well, that's good. Technology is a bugger, isn't it? It really can be. Good. Everything's good. All right. Paul J, better now. Mike, good. Okay. Andreas is here from Germany. We got John over in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Yep, we got it going now, folks. So it's about time. So welcome. And we're going to do a guitar lesson today on Candyman. Dave Van Ronk has done it. Reverend Gary Davis has done it. And now you're going to do it. But I'm also going to show you, like I always do with all my lessons, I'm going to show you how you can add a whole bunch of cool things to the song. So you're not just going to play the same thing over and over and over again. Now, for those of you that have never been here before, you can go, I think it's right up here. There's a download tab link right there. Okay, that's it. And it's tinyurl.com/Toby Walker tab. You don't have to capitalize anything. Toby Walker tab. That's going to take you to my website, and it's going to be on the concert workshop page. And just scroll down. You're going to see where you can download the tab. There should be 2 pages for the tab for Candyman. All right. So while everybody's downloading that, and then also there's a donation link. You're having trouble getting the tab. Let me just make sure, see that if the tab is working. Is anybody else having trouble? Let me take a look at this. We got the tab here. Let's see. If you scroll down halfway, yep, you should be able to download that. Just right click on your mouse and just write. I think it should be save image or save link as. All right, or you can just click on it, and it should bring it up in a new window, and you should be able to download it from there. So let me know if that's going to work for you. Is anyone else having trouble getting the tab? Ben put the tab up. There's the link for the tab as well, so you can have the tab, and hopefully everybody can get that tablature straightened out here. All right. Also, today, what I'm going to be doing is in the donations for $5, a $5 donation, I'm going to be sending you a YouTube video. It's unlisted, so only you get it. Of this entire session, of the entire lesson. So you're going to get that, and you're also getting the tab. You never seen a cocaine. Any chance getting those? Natherus, send me a private email. Send me an email, okay? tobywmusic@gmail.com, and let me know about that, okay? And I'll get you the YouTube link for those lessons, all right? Anyway, so for $5, you're going to get a YouTube link, and it's going to be this entire session. For I think it's going to be for $15. I'm also going to be throwing in. This is a CD I'm very, very proud of. I was away for a couple of years, and then I came back. We won't get into that. It's the Candyman tab upstairs, Dave. Yes, it's the Candyman tab. That's what we're doing today, Candyman. Anyway, this CD I'm really proud of. It's got a lot of my favorite songs that I do on it. I've done this. This is going to be a $15 donation, and I'll send you a digital copy of all the songs. Plus, there's a guitar lesson that comes along with that page, and that's in addition to the YouTube video. So you're going to get that, and then I think it's for I think it's like a $20 donation. I just came out with a new set of lessons. It's called Slideless Open G Tuning, and you can it's a lot of really cool songs that you could learn in this tuning, and yeah, it's just a lot of. It's easy to learn. It's for the intermediate player, intermediate finger picker. They're easy to learn, and they're fun to play, and they're really kind of cool. So that's for I think it's a $20 donation. Right now, it's on sale. I just put it out there for 23.95 or something like that. But you guys are going to get it for 20. And then the last thing I'm going to do, and then we'll get into the Candyman thing while you guys are downloading the tab. The last thing I want to tell you is I have a premier membership site. It has over 450 now video instructional guitar lessons. It's got the tablature. It has a whole bunch of other stuff on there. It's every lesson I've ever put out. And it's all up on my premier membership site. Plus, there's concert footage. When I'm doing a concert later on at 7 o'clock, I'm going to send you that'll be up on that website. Now, I usually charge, it's a subscription website, $125 for all of that for a whole year. But folks here on the Twitch thing, you're going to get that for less than half price. That's a $60 donation. Plus, you'll get all the other things that I just mentioned. So that's all in that donation link right up above there, and that's just Toby Walker / tinyurl.com/Toby Walker. And you can type that in and you'll be, I'll send you stuff. So anyway, I hope everybody's got the tab. We're going to start getting into this lesson. There's 2 pages to it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this guitar. This guitar, the link works fine. Okay, so Timmy O'Neill out. Timmy, I think that you're out in California, aren't you? I think so. It's the same Timmy O'Neill that I know. Yeah, the link works fine, so don't worry about it. All right, so folks, this is a 1930 national. Ha, Timmy, I knew it was you. This is a 1930 national steel. It's a national. It's a Triolean. This is on Lend to Me. It's on by my good friend Mark Seligman up in New York. So anyway, so we're going to get into Candyman right now. So here we go, and I hope again, if you need the tab, it's right up there. And I'm going to play just the first part of this, and then we're going to go over it step by step. Keeps repeating on and on and on and on and on. So this is going to be Candyman for all of you. So it's in the key of C, as you probably guessed. And what's interesting about this song is that the alternating bass goes from the fifth string to the 3rd string. Usually we're alternating the bass with a C chord, like either the 5th and the 4th or the 6th and the 5th. But here we're skipping over like that. And every other time, instead of hitting the open G, we're going to bring our 2nd finger down and hit the A note on that 3rd string at that 2nd fret. That's the bass for the C. So if that's something you've never done before, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's take a look at the very first measure. I'm starting out with a C note, and then I'm going to come down and I'm going to pinch the 1st string and the 3rd string with my pinky on the high G note. Then I'm going to come back to my bass, second string, bring down my second finger, and then, so I'll do that very slowly again. One more time. There we go. Now, when you come back in the second measure, you're just going to be alternating. There isn't any pinch notes in the second measure. So we're going fifth string, second string, open third string, first string, then fifth, second, and bring down that second finger again. So we have just like that. Now we're going to do the same. Next two measures are exactly the same, but I'm not using my pinky on the high G. So the third measure is just so I get that fifth string, third and first, 5, 2, drop down the second finger, 3, and then open first string. And then finally, the last measure would be like this. So once you get that little pattern down, okay, that you've got a lot of the song down already, because then all you need to do is repeat it, but keep the pinky off that high G note. Okay, it's a really beautiful thing. Now, I'm going to play that first line so you get it in context to what the whole thing sounds like. When you really get that going, it really sounds beautiful. Now let's take a look at the second line. And if you have any questions, I'm looking at the chat right here. So if you have any questions, throw it in the chat, and I'll be really more than happy to answer them. So again, screen is choppy. Hopefully that won't last for too long. Maybe your internet connection. I've got a strong internet connection, a lot stronger than I had last year, as a matter of fact. So hopefully everything's looking good on my end, but I'm looking at the video. So let's go on. Now this again, good here in South Carolina. Thanks, Will. Now take a look again. If you need to download the tab, all those links are right up there. Now in the second line, I'm going over to a G7, and with the G7, all right, I'm going to go from the sixth string in my bass to the third string. And I'm going to be dropping down my second finger there. So we have this. Get that. So it's just like the C, except we're just stretching it out a little bit, getting the sixth string to the third string. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the second line, the very first measure. So the sixth string, grab the first and third, and then 6, 2, and then to the third again with the second finger down. So that's it. All right. The pattern is very, very much the same. So once you start getting this, it's going to flow. Now the second measure is just the same thing, but again, we're just it's just a little bit a little bit different, but it's same thing that we did with the C. It's so we have 6, 2, 3, 1, then 6, 2, 3, with the A note coming in. And now we go right back. This is the third measure and the fourth measure, which is exactly the same in the second line, which is exactly the same as the third and fourth measure in the first line. So here's how that second line is going to sound in context. Okay, so let's go over to the third line. And here we have repeats. This is just like the first line, the first two measures. So here's the third line. Same exact thing in there. Now, instead of just repeating it like we did in the first line, we're going to do this little octave. So here what I'm doing is I'm grabbing on the fifth and second string the two C notes and I'm pinching them together. Now I'm coming down, I'm grabbing the B note on the fifth string and the open B note on the second. I'm going to bring down my second finger. I'm going to grab the A note on the third string while hitting the open A on the fifth string. And then bringing my third finger over to the sixth string, third fret, I'm going to hit that and the open third string for two G notes. So we have. Now I'm going to repeat that, but I'm just going to double up the second string just once. Okay? Just getting an extra C note in there. And then continue the way you did before. Okay? So that in that whole sequence in the third line is going to sound like this. And now that brings us to our last line, and this in the first page. And this is going to be. Now, there's that. For those of you that haven't played an F chord like this, my thumb is grabbing that F note here, and my first finger's on the C note, second finger's on the A note on the third string, and my third finger's on the fourth string, third fret. Now you really got to grab that guitar right in there, just like this. You got to put your palm against it to really get that sound. I mean, you could do it with the bar chord like this, but you really kind of have to move it around, move your third finger over to the fourth string because we're going to be using our pinky. So you could do it that way. There's no hard and fast rule here. A lot of players do it this way, though. So with that F chord, I'm going to be hitting the sixth string, second string, fourth string. Then I'm going to put my pinky down on the second string, third fret, and I'm going to pinch the sixth and second string together. And then my thumb comes down on the fourth string. So we have. And then to the C chord. Now here with the C chord and then the second measure on that fourth line, we have fifth string, open first string, come down on the fourth string, put your pinky down on the first string, and get the fifth string at the third fret, and then thumb comes down. So we have. All right, and now get this. This is a nice little bass line. That is kind of cool. And then we repeat it. So let's talk about this little bass line. Basically, the bass notes would be sounding like this. throwing in. So let's take this, let's break this down note by note. Sixth string and hit the open third string. Then come down on the fourth string. So we have. Now immediately drop your second finger down on that A note on the third string and then hit the low A note. So we have. Now hit the high B note on the second string and the low B note on the fifth string. So we have this. And then finally back to a C chord, and then low G, open A, B, and then right back, and you keep repeating that. So here's the last line now in context. I'll play that whole thing again. So that's the first page of Candyman. All right. I really love this song a whole lot. But what I would like to do now is show you some variations on how to play that. Okay. So we're going to go over to our next page, which I just call Candyman Extras. Going to be some extra things in there. Fur Peace Ranch official water mug, water container. Have anybody been to Fur Peace Ranch? It's really a cool place to be. When this COVID thing is all over and everything like that, it's just great. I highly recommend going down to Fur Peace Ranch. Yorma runs and Vanessa runs a really great. John, Fur Peace Ranch. They run a great outfit out there. Really good, great instructors. Bill Kirchin, a lot of people teaching there, and I can be very proud to say I've taught there several times myself. But it's good. Anyway, so that's where that came from. All right, so let's look at the Candyman extras. And folks, again, if you're coming in new to the lesson, you can download the tab right there. There's a link to download the tab for this lesson. And the donation tab is right there, tinyurl.com/Toby Walker tab. And again, if you go to the Toby Walker tab page, that little thing, you're going to see all these things I'm going to give back to you. So it's just not you just give me a donation and that's it. I like giving back. And every week that I do this, I'm always coming up with new things to give back. But the best thing is that Premier membership. Yeah, for $60, you get access for a year to every lesson I ever put out that I have that I've ever published. You have access to all of them. So now it's like something like 470 some odd lessons, plus a bunch of other things too. All right, let's get into the Candyman extras. All right, and I'm going to play this straight through. And then I'm going to be talking about it, showing you how to play it, and showing you and telling you why I chose certain notes that will work in this song and pretty much any song that you're going to be playing in the key of C in this style. Hold on. Got it right. Okay. The coffee's too strong, which I had earlier. I'm going to try that again. Let me do that again. Yeah, I'm going to do it again. I should have kind of, I improvise all the time with this stuff. So when I actually have to read something, forgive me. But the bad notes are in there for free. You get those. All right, so let's take a look at this. What I wanted to do in this solo is I kind of wanted to stay in the theme of Candyman, but I wanted to add a little variation to it. So in that first measure, it still sounds a little like Candyman. Let's take a look at this. We've got the low C and the high G, and we're going to pinch those together. I'm going to come in with my index finger on the second string and drop down my second finger on the third string with my thumb, and then hitting the C again. So those first group of notes are. Now I'm going to come back. So what I'm doing in the last group of notes, I'm hitting the fifth string, second string, coming down with my thumb and hitting the third string at that second fret, and then with my index finger, I'm going to hit the open third string. So it's like that. So here's that second part of that first measure. So you hit that whole first measure is. Now we're going to continue now with a nice little C lick. Now this is the second measure. I'm doing this alternating my thumb and my first finger, much like Gary Davis would do when he was playing single line runs. So I have my thumb coming down on that second string first fret. My index finger comes up and hits the third string. My thumb comes down on the fourth string, and I'm going to get that E flat note. Index on the E note, and then, so it's dot, 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 dot. So, and when I'm doing this technique, I'm always thinking that when I'm doing single notes, my thumb is always on the downbeat and my index finger's on the upbeat, much like you would go down up with a pick. It's just this way. So I got this. Now I finish it up with the high G and then bring down my second finger for the A. So we get that. There we go. So I'll play those two measures now. Now, the next two measures are kind of fun. This is a turnaround that I like using, or sometimes it's an introduction to a tune in C. You could use that as a turnaround, it's a great little lick, and I'm going to show you this. It has its counterpoint. You have one line going up and one line going down. So the line going down, it starts off with the C, and my bass notes going down starts with the E, and moves down and ends on the C again. But my other notes are going up. So it sounds. All right. So to get that, we're going to first hit the C note and then come down. Our second finger's already there. So we're going to come down on that fourth string and the open third. Now here we're going to get our second finger on that A note on the second fret, third string, and get our E flat note. Then I'm going to hit the open second and fourth, and then finally the C. So I have, and I finish it up again with the Candyman type lick. So I've got that Candyman theme going in there. All right, so that was my thinking, to just try and get a little single line run in there and fit it in, and then maybe throw in a cool little double notes together, little thing. So these are some ideas that you can put into your playing. Now when I go into G, I'm going to do this. This is the second line. Now that's the first measure and going into the first beat of the second measure. Now the reason I'm showing you this is because a lot of players in the key of C, you've heard this probably 100 times. Stuff like that. But I've yet to see a player yet do that same lick in G. Or so these combination of notes I want to show you. We have a low G and an open third string. Now we're going to hit the open second and fourth. We're now going to put our first finger down on the B flat note on the third string, and the second finger on that D flat note on the fifth string, third fret, fourth fret. Pinch those. Then move them down, and you're going to move them down again, but pick up your first finger. So you have, and by the way, those first two notes are also here. The B note on the fourth fret, and your second finger up there on the D note on the fifth string, fifth fret. Same set of notes. But sometimes I like to do this. It's the same little set of notes we did, the B flat and the D flat, but I hit the open second and fourth string, and then back to the G. So here in this tune, I'm just kind of putting that in there. And in the second measure, it's going to sound like this. Back into the C. So I'll play this two measures together. And that second measure, open fourth, high G, because we're still with the G chord, right? And we're going to lead into the C. Now that little bass lead in, this is aside, this isn't in the tab, but this is another idea that you can put into your playing, is anytime you're going into another chord, you can put a couple of bass notes just before that chord. In this case, I'm doing it on the third and fourth beat. 1, 2, like 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what's really kind of neat with a C chord. And the old-timey rhythm players used to do this a lot. Yeah. They used to do a lot of these little bass lines or bass runs like that because they didn't have an upright bass player, some of them. So the guitar player had to put those notes in. And here, what I did was, instead of just going to a C, I went to another note in the C chord and I went getting into the E note. But instead, I just used the open E, open D, and leading into with an E flat into an E. So when you're playing, you know, just put those two notes in 2 beats before you're going into your chord. And it sounds kind of neat. All right, so back to the second line. All right, so after we do this, right into the C chord, and we kind of repeat that Candyman theme again. So we got that same Candyman feel. 5th string, open 1st and 3rd. 5th, 2nd, and 3rd string with the dropping the A down. And then picking it up. Just like that. So we got that little theme going. Let's go into our 3rd line now. And in our 3rd line, we're still going to keep that Candyman theme going, but we're going to do a cool little lick. Okay, kind of like the G. Okay, but here it is with C. So the first measure is just 5th string. Grab the 3rd and the 1st with your pinky on the high G. Then 5, 2, 3rd string. So, and now we're going to get our 3rd finger and our 4th finger. 3rd finger on the G flat or F sharp, and pinky on that the E flat or the D sharp. Grab those two together, pick them up, and hit the open 3rd and 1st. And then put them back down again, 1 fret behind, F and D, and then to your C and E. So you have. So it's just a little lick that I put in there, which kind of fits. And now I wanted to put, because I have another C chord going for 2 measures, I wanted to add a little lick in here. So I have. So let's listen to this one. This is the 3rd line, the 3rd and 4th measure. I got my 1st finger already, I got it on that G note, and I'm going to hit that. I'm going to play the A note and then pull it off. Now I'm going to pick up my 1st finger and get that E flat note. And my thumb, again, we're going that down up motion. So you got to the open E, and then I come into the C note, and then finally the A note. And then we get our E flat, the last measure. E flat, hammer to the E, open 3rd, C. And again, we're going to come in, we just get that 1st string and 4th string. So that whole 3rd line. Now finally we're going to get into our F chord, and here we're just going to do we're going to be going back and forth with our. It's a very common thing that a lot of ragtime and blues guitar players do when they're playing an F chord. They get that pinky in there on that D note, and they go back and forth between the D and the C. So we have this. So let's look at that lick. We start off with our F, grabbing the second and sixth string, put our pinky down now, and grab the fourth and second string. Right after you do that, I'm using my thumb and my middle finger to do that because I want to get my index finger to come right in on the third string. Like that. So I have. Then I'm going to pick up my pinky and put it back down again. So I have the second and the sixth string. Then add that. So we have all together. Now the bass note. And now just after you hit that bass note, you're going to take your pinky and move it up to the E flat note. That's going to start your lick. So we have. So the lick actually sounds like this from the E flat. Open E, C, A, G, hammer E flat to E, C, like that. Now for my G7 lick, and this is a very, very common phrase. People like Blind Blake uses this little phrase quite a bit. Mississippi John Hurt uses it in Spike Driver Blues. And we have this, the bass is going back and forth between the sixth and the fourth string. Just like that. All right. Now, what we're going to do after that is we're going to be at, we got. So let's take this in steps. I'm going to pinch the sixth and first string together. On the upbeat, come in. I usually lift my first finger here because it makes it a little easier to get that pinky down. Hit that B flat note with your index finger. Now you're going to grab with your thumb and middle finger the open, second, and fourth string. So we have. Now my index finger comes in and grabs that D note by itself. Now I'm going to pick up my pinky. I'm going to hit the sixth string and open first string. And then add the F note. So we have. And then open fourth and first. And then finally, the two C notes and a bass line. So here's that whole Candyman Extras thing. Okay, so it's a really kind of cool thing to get down and to play. And I would also suggest, with any of these little licks, try putting them into a 12-bar blues if you're playing a blues in C, or another ragtime tune if you're playing that. Take some of your favorite little things and kind of work them in that somehow. It takes some practice, and there's a lot of hit and missing. There's a lot of things like that. But that's how I usually approach playing. I would learn a song, and then after I learned the song, I would just try and figure out little things that maybe I want to put in that song that'll just give it a little variety to it. And that's what I like teaching people how to do, is to be able to add some creativity to the songs. So there's one other thing I want to also tell you. Again, with the donation link, anything you can give me, because I am literally out of work, like a lot of musicians are. And this is one of the ways that I try to earn some money, is by giving lessons like this every Thursday, and a concert tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to have some new songs that I haven't played in, God, months. I always try and mix it up. So there'll be a guitar lessons here, and a concert at 7 p.m. I think the other thing is I have it's a Patreon link. I just joined this thing called Patreon, and it's basically I'll put it in the chat. This is the Patreon link, and you could check that out. I just put that in the chat, and for I think as little as like a few dollars a month, donating to me. Again, there's little levels. There's a $3, $5, $10. Um, it's a subscription thing. It's each month you would get. It would give me. I would get $3 from you, or $5 or $10. But you also get a whole lot of stuff. Again, I don't take anything for free. So if you check out that page, that's my Patreon page. I'm always adding new things to that page, and there's certain levels, and at each level, there's all kinds of really cool stuff that you get. It just kind of builds on itself. And if you, I hope you enjoyed the guitar lesson today. I'm going to go feed my dog Charlie and my other dog Rambo, um, and we'll get. So anyway, so come back here, right here, 7 p.m. I'll probably have on a different shirt, but come on here, come back here, and we'll have a really good time if you can. Okay, take care, folks. I hope you enjoyed the guitar lesson. It's always my pleasure to do stuff like this. So take care, folks, and I'll see you hopefully. I'll see you hopefully